Well, I think the title was quite good, but what came out of it was it was a bit of a damp squib. The market had been waiting for a long time to hear what Yellen's thoughts were. There'd been a lot of conversations about the long-term neutral rate of interest in the US and then about the current monetary policy settings. And what we got was effectively not much information about anything in the end. Ultimately, the Fed and the other policymakers, central banks around the world, are waiting for the baton to be passed to governments to do fiscal policy, but I think that'll be a while in coming yet. I was hoping we might get clarity, and as it was, we got nothing. So it's more of the same now. I think it's just waiting to the non-farm payroll numbers, which are out this week, and then it's now just data watching all the time. The Fed might raise in September or December, but I'd be very surprised if they do much in the next year. I think the Fed clearly wants a flatter yield curve in the US. There's a lot of papers about R-star and about the neutral rate being lower. The Fed dots are likely to come lower, but they're trying to inject a level of uncertainty about rate hikes in the front end, which effectively green lights the yield curve flattener trade further. I find that a bit surprising because there is a strong correlation between changes in the yield curve and economic growth going forward, and a flatter yield curve tends to lead to slower growth environments in the US. I think the markets generally, looking across all asset classes, are defined into either risk on or risk off, and we're very clearly in a risk on environment. So all the carry trades are performing really well. So emerging market currencies, emerging market bonds, equity markets are performing well. So effectively, it's a very risk on in market environment right now. And absent some shock, I think that continues for the short term at least. And they obviously want to put rates up. Whether they'll be able to do so because of the economic data, I don't know. You might get one or two hikes, but I'd be very surprised if you see more than that in the next couple of years. I think the back end of the curve is just anchored, so we're just trading in this range.